Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us for the March meeting of the National Guild of Hypnotists Washington chapter. We're so glad that you're here. This will be recorded and uploaded to our Facebook page. It'll be sent out a link will be sent in the newsletter. And I am presenting this evening on my program called One and Done Weight Release. You know, this is so interesting because I am literally living this program. It's taken me about 9 months to write it. And in that time, I have lost 10 pounds of COVID weight and 10 pounds of menopause weight. I know that that's a lot of, TMI. But literally, I weigh what I used to weigh for 25 years. So my body's just back to normal, to feeling really normal, feeling a lot healthier. And so I am living these principles every day along with my 6 beta clients. So I'm offering this program for a reduced rate because I need to re-record the YouTube videos that go along with the program. And until I get that done, everyone is going to get a price break. Now, you are all hypnotists, and you have in your mind how you work with clients regarding weight release or health or emotional healing or whatever you help people with. And so I hope in this presentation you will learn some things that you can kind of jot down to include when you work with clients. Not only that, the process that I have discovered is very, very, very easy to implement. And so I hope that you also find something of personal value. And I did put in the chat that I do offer a free emotion code session to anyone who books a free call with me. So and I have free resources on my website. So, there's ways to reach me and to be helped by what I do. All right, so again, my name is Dani Green. I started my hypnotherapy practice in 2015, and I'm super happy to present One and Done Weight Release. I'm clicking on share screen. Here we are, and that little icon there. Okay, and it's coming up. One and Done Weight Release is a 6-session program to help you create my healthy plan. Now, the reason that this is important is that if you ever try to follow a plan of eating and they had foods on the food list that you wouldn't possibly buy or didn't like to eat, and if you try to follow a certain way of eating, it just doesn't jive into who you are as a person, what you like, what you prefer. So you'll see how people can write their own healthy plan that's doable and improving. So I'm going to see, there it is. So the subtitle of One and Done Weight Release is Less Food, More Movement, on Time. So I was watching a TikTok thing, and this lady said, she's in her car, she's got her phone, she's looking at it, and she said, I've lost over 100 pounds. I'll tell you how I did it. I ate less food and I exercised. And I'm like, see, it's that easy. It is that easy. We don't have to purchase all these shakes and, these really expensive products to release weight, because what happens is you get tired of paying for all that, and then you go off of them, and then you don't really know how to eat in a way that's good for your body. So this will save you time and money. So compulsive in the dictionary is an irresistible urge against conscious wishes, i.e. compulsive eating. So welcome to the human story on this planet. They use in the definition of compulsive, they talk about eating. So what is compulsive eating? Compulsive eating is when you have a thought and it locks into your brain and then you act upon it. So it goes from thought to behavior. And what I want to help people, and that's compulsive, anything that we do when you have a thought and you feel really compelled to do it and you follow through and do it, especially if it's something you don't want to do. Don't ask me how I know that. But it's just normal for human, for all of us. So what I'm doing with this program is helping people unlock that compulsive thought and behavior. So with One and Done Weight Release, you will create a doable, My Healthy Plan that is repeatable and improving, one moment at a time, day by day. One of my clients said that she has tried so many diets and she just tries them so frantically because she knows she probably won't be able to sustain it. So she's just going to try to lose as much weight as she can while she's into it, but she knows she's not going to be able to sustain it. That was prior to going through my program. And now she says, look, I know I can do this. I can every day do what's doable and keep improving. And it's called habit stacking. When you change one habit, then another, then another. And she has so much hope for her future now. And she has lost weight in the 8 weeks that she worked with me. Now I have a success group that she can continue to get advice from, but I'll get there. All right, here we go. One and Done Weight Release. Notice how this is different from everything else you've tried. One of the things that I do, is I don't use the word thin because that kind of feeds into the thin culture. And we're smarter than that now. I use the word healthy. I also don't use the word attractive because I don't care if I'm attractive to you. I just care about myself and how I feel about me. So I'm not doing any of this for you or anyone else. Also desirable. I mean, that is none of our business. We just want self-love. So there are some words that I take out of any of the scripted hypnosis and words I don't use. And also just removing those expensive products. You save time, money, and you get more done. So I am going to go through right now just kind of the components of One and Done Weight Release. And just an overview. All right. So unlocking compelling behaviors first. The second thing I focus on is emotional healing. We have to heal the emotional stories we tell ourselves because our thoughts and feelings are so tied together in our brain. The more emotional healing we have, the more release we have, the more strength we have. What we've gone through in this life is called the pile principle, where it just kind of started out and then everything that we go through, it adds to it and adds to it and adds to it, and all of a sudden you have got so much emotional struggle or baggage that you just can't manage your life. If we could bring that pile down so that we can see past it, it's really important. All right, well, you all know that. All right, self-love and non-judgment. I have another client who really has an addiction issue, and she's not actually lost weight, and maybe she's gained weight in the 8 weeks she worked with me, but she's like, I love myself. I don't judge myself. My behavior is a message. I will get this. I will, continue to work on this. So I'm going to meet with her one-on-one a little bit more. All right, so doable and improving. My psyche is just a little bit sensitive. I really could never be an Olympic athlete because I cannot push myself. I get a little bit easily overwhelmed. So as long as I can just stay within my doable self and do what I can do, I'm really happy. And so I really wanted to make sure that this program was doable because there are other people out there that just can only do what's doable. I wish I had the percentage of people that can just do what's doable, because I certainly built the plan around that concept. So there's learning videos with stories for each of the sessions and the explanation of the worksheets that are included in the curriculum. I talk about 6-hour time zones, and so like in the second session, we're working on 6 a.m. to noon. In the third session, we've got noon to 6 p.m. On the fourth session, we have 6 p.m. to midnight. We're talking about those time zones because a lot of people can eat really well during the day. It's the evening, eating. And some people get up in the middle of the night, they can't sleep, and they have to eat something to settle back down, relax. So we work on that all the 24 hours within the 4 sessions. And we also work on location zones. They will eat less when they're out and about. They won't eat in their bedroom or at their work desk. So we really try to get them to eat at a table and have gratitude for the food that they're eating. The other thing I do is that we create their My Healthy Plan before session 4. So they've met with me 3 times. We create their plan in a free session, and then they go through session 4, 5, and 6, specifically first talking about behavior. So that's really important that they're trying to work on it halfway through, so if there's any issues, we can address it in hypnosis. So one of the goals is that we eat on a schedule, and I'll go through that more specifically in a few minutes, but that satisfies your conscious mind. Your conscious mind helps you keep your calendar. So if you eat on a schedule, your conscious mind isn't always wondering what should I eat next, because you've got a plan, you've got a time, and it really, really satisfies the conscious mind. And then deep breathing and mantras give the subconscious mind a plan. The next thing that is important that I discovered in my own journey is if you have inside influence, a thought that comes to you, you have to use outside action to solve that thought, to break that thought loop. A thought loop goes around and around. It's kind of a rut in our brain, but we need something to break that thought loop. So if it's an inside influence, you use your body to make a change. So you'll find that when you're waiting to eat, if you think you're hungry and you want to eat, and you just go get something done, go fold the laundry, sweep the floor, vacuum, even work out in order to wait to eat, you use your body to change that thought loop. And then also, if it's an outside influence, you use your inside thoughts of resolve to face breaking that thought loop. So, for example, my husband comes home for lunch at noon. I eat my lunch at 1, and so sometimes I can get influenced by the smell of food in the kitchen. So I just, go to my office or even sit in the kitchen and just go, no, it's not my time to eat. I'll go over that in just a minute. All right, so we need to break out of the standard American diet trance and see food for what it is. I help my clients see that. We release life-draining emotions, food, drink, and lack of movement, and we enhance life-giving emotions, food, drink, and movement. Self-care. One of our goals is that we would do something for self-care every single day. And the 3 things that are part of this program is meditation or movement or making healthy food. And when you make healthy food for your family, that's great, but hopefully there's some leftovers that you can use to eat the next day to keep you on schedule. And then I have a low-fee 30-minute ongoing online success group. 2 of my clients have over 100 pounds to lose, so they need some ongoing support. And my twin sister's in my program, and she always makes my meetings. She's so sweet. You can always count on your twin sister to support you, right? All right, so let's, first of all, it starts with a discovery call where I go over the one and done weight release plan, the 6 sessions, and the logo. And then I have them in that discovery call. We discuss the completion agreement, that they agree to pay the amount in the 8 weeks. I'm really flexible about that. It doesn't have to be paid in 2 months. I can stretch that out, whatever. But I get in the discovery call, I confirm that they're interested. The next thing I do is a 1-hour get to know you Zoom meeting. There's some forms I can send to them. Like some, advertisement explanations of hypnosis and that type of thing. But this is really interesting. There's an intake form that I fill out, and I also ask them a 21-question weight release assessment. So several years ago, I went to a seminar in Seattle for D.O.N.E, and it was computerized weight loss. is the program, and he has this 21 session or 21 question assessment. So when we do the get to know you meeting, I just kind of understand where they're coming from and what's important to them. And then I ask them this assessment. So they rate the answers almost never, occasionally, frequently, almost always. And so that's kind of 1 to 4. And then I just write down what they say. And after the conversation, I tally that, but I keep the number, their score for that assessment, private. I just keep it. They don't know it. And I'll show you later in the program how I make use of that number. So the goals of One and Done Weight Release, this all started for years. All I was praying, I'm like, God, just please help me figure out when and how to eat for my body. That's all I want. We process food differently, with our insulin levels and our digestion and everything. And so we really can't just follow any way of eating that isn't, catered to our own self and our own intuition. I use muscle testing to test, what my body really wants. And I teach my clients to do that too. But anyway, we will discover and program doable and challenging changes to your health and lifestyle relating to time zones, eating zones, and food, drink, and exercise. So the doable changes that they know they can make, they're just doable. They can do it without a lot of extra support. So we celebrate those doable changes they're willing to make, those stackable habits. But the challenging changes, the things they've tried to change and can't change, we address those in hypnosis, and we figure out why, what to do about them. When did this story start? What emotions do we need to remove and replace, and all of that. So that's part of it. We will release and reframe emotions, beliefs, and behaviors. And again, I talk about not weight loss, because if we loss means we've lost something, and our brain doesn't really like to lose things. No one likes to lose their phone or their keys. So it's weight release, because I want them to know that they're breathing and releasing emotions. They're working with me to release the stories they've been telling themselves, and the ways they feel about food, and the ways they feel about their body. All of that is release. Secondly, we use self-hypnosis to continue to eliminate and enhance belief and behaviors. We'll understand the importance of forgiveness and projection for ongoing emotional and physical health. But the whole program, the most important thing, is we will love ourselves as we are now. And I know when clients can just feel like, you know what, I accept and love myself now, even if I eat more than I intended to, it's okay, I love myself. And that is so important for all of us, actually, for every area of our life. So I love when that happens. All right, first session is this assessment. Another assessment, actually. Nothing ever goes away until it's taught us what we need to know. So this assessment is a 4-page, 125-question assessment, and it's a personality assessment by D.O.N.E. And basically what we're assessing is, how do people receive hypnosis scripts, scripted hypnosis? Do they like to be told what to do? Am I supposed to just suggest what they should do and they can take it or leave it? There's different ways that people receive scripted hypnosis. So that's what that is. And then in the very first session, I use scripted hypnosis from D.O.N.E. He's very wordy, and I've had to re-edit everything, and it's taken me weeks, but that's just me. And also I have to take out all those old-fashioned words. But, I'm not, D.O.N.E's a great person, I'm sure. All right, and then we have what's called a daily writing calendar. We have life-giving journal notes from that calendar, and I go ahead and teach them right away the One and Done, Stop, and W.I.N.S mantras, and I'll show you that. So this writing calendar is super interesting. So we're asking why every single day. Today is the 10th, so on the 10th, why can I eat whatever I want in moderation? And you're like, you're right, I can eat whatever I want in moderation. And I teach my clients how to do that. But the other side of that is, in the instructions, you can't really see, is there's actually two questions we ask ourselves. Why can I eat whatever I want in moderation? And that food freedom is really important. But then we ask another question, why don't I eat whatever I want in moderation? Why don't I eat with moderation? So what we do is when we have positive thoughts about the question, we write those down as life-giving journal notes. If we have negative thoughts about the question, like we're really struggling with an issue, then what we do is we write that on a piece of scratch paper. And then after our journaling time in the morning, we rip that up and throw it away. Because those are just negative thoughts that are life-draining thoughts, I like to say, that aren't really true, because what's deeply, deeply, deeply true for us is those positive, strong thoughts that come from our soul, come from our superconscious mind. And so we write down those really strong, positive things, life-giving thoughts, and we just journal through and rip up and throw away. When I first started doing this my own calendar that I created, it took me about a month. I was just scratching stuff out and ripping paper up for a whole month. I had so much to say that was negative, and I don't have anything to say that's negative anymore. I've so worked through so many of these issues that I don't even have to do that part, but it does help. All right, and then this is the mantras. I am the one to choose my lifestyle and health. I take 100% responsibility for my life. No blaming, no excuses. I use the one and done mantras and my body to activate resolve, because everything belongs. I delete this involuntary random brain body pattern thought. I observe what's happening now. I will not give up, and I enjoy freedom and feel strong. So one of the concepts is one and done is you can have one of anything, but then you're done. So you can just even use one and done as a mantra. It's like, oh wait, I've already had that. It was really good and really fun, but I'm done. I'm done for the day. I am not going to have that today or this month, whatever you tell yourself. The wins mantra is what we want to use during the day to have little wins. We wilt our body and breathe. We initiate eye movement, because I read in a study that they were studying cocaine addicts, and they flashed, however cocaine comes, like so fast, in like a 300th of a second or something, in front of these addicts. It was so fast that only their brain could perceive it, but they couldn't perceive it. And they they craved cocaine. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like our sight is very important. So that's why we want to initiate eye movement. We can close our eyes and roll our eyes and relax our bodies, or we can just look. It's really hard to walk toward the kitchen if you're, looking off to the side. It's just something to break that thought loop. So then now we stop our body and we wait for what's more true. This whole thing, I'm not going to talk to you about the whole thing because it goes on, but I would be happy to send the writing calendar and the mantra sheet to you for free, because I think it's really cool. So we stop our body, we breathe deeply and imagine stop, it's just a thought, stop, it's not an option, no excuses, stop, it's over, let it go. Another stop process is bubble, 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 pop, pop, pop. If you say that 3 times fast, you actually kind of start laughing because it's really silly, and you can imagine your thoughts popping. We talk to ourselves. We observe how we're feeling. Are we judging others? Are we judging ourselves? What's going inside of me that I need to handle outside of me? Am I generalizing something right now? Am I distorting something right now? Do I just need to cancel this thought? It's just a little bit of a technique to change our thoughts. Be happy to send it to you. All right, in the second session, we talk about emotions, self-regulation, and usually we'll turn to a substance in an addictive way because we're trying to, decrease our pain or our stress or increase our pleasure. So those are just the two things that are happening. I show them the Map of Consciousness by David Hawkins, the Altitudes of Development by Ken Wilber, which I'll share with you in a minute. And then we talk about emotions, past, present, and future, and the time zone. And we actually program the One and Done mantra. We actually go through that whole mantra and, you know, in hypnosis, and they tell me what's true for them about it, so that they've got their own words, interpreting the actual mantra in their own words to make it, you know, be more true for them. So the Map of Consciousness, anything that is under 200 is life draining. And look at this: desire, craving, being disappointed is 125. So even craving food that we know isn't good for us, because our body knows, is life draining. Anything 200 and above is life giving. So we want to be up here in the life giving emotions. So that's why we're dismissing guilt and shame, or even apathy. People are afraid of food. They're angry that they're at where they're at with food. So, you know, we always work on those emotions and get to the higher, more life-giving ones. And the altitudes of development is just important, because the highest level of development is just oneness, wisdom, joy, and love. And wouldn't it be great if we were all there? So I like to show people what's possible, even though I don't really use that in the program, but I like to have it in there. The next session is beliefs. So we've done the assessment with scripted hypnosis. We've talked about emotions, and now we're talking about beliefs. What do we believe about food and drink? And what did we believe as a child, you know, teenager or adult? And then I use this personal power grid I got from someone years ago. If you'd like to see it, I'll show it to you in a minute. I can certainly send it to you. I got it for free. I'll pass it along for free. The tools of muscle testing. And so literally I was filling up my vitamin containers, and I'm starting a new vitamin, and I'm like, okay, when should I take this? 3 days a week or more? You know, and you know, is this the best veggie for me right now? Or you can muscle test supplements, vitamins. You can muscle test, does my body want this right now? And it'll muscle test no, but your brain does. Okay, brain, let's talk about this. My body does not want this. I'm not going to listen to you. So you can use muscle testing to discern your doable and improving plan. Then this is a personal power grid. So what I want my clients to live within is take action, find some control with the mantras and the breathing, and take action toward their health. And then they have mastery and empowerment. I mean, that's so empowering. You know that when you make a really good choice, you feel so strong, don't you? And then when you make a choice that you didn't really want to make and you make it anyway, it kind of weakens you. So I want people to live with mastery and empowerment. And then some things we just have to accept. We don't have any control over it. We can't take action. We're just going to have to accept what is. That helps us let go a lot of ceaselessly striving toward things, or feeling helpless and hopeless. So we want to be in mastery and empowerment and acceptance, and let go of feeling helpless and hopeless. So I have a way to help clients do that. All right, now we're going to that free session that I do, a free half-an-hour call, where we're going over Appendix 7 and 8 in One and Done Weight Release. What I did was I just collected a bunch of food lists from online. Anti-inflammatory food, your blood type determines what food is really beneficial for you, which foods are neutral, and which foods are almost like poisonous because they're really not good for your blood type. And you know, if you read about blood type, people will say it's not been scientifically proven. It's just because there's not enough money, you know, in that movement to do that. But it's actually an ancient practice. Like in some cultures across the water, they actually wouldn't date someone that has a blood type that would not fit their personality. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's an ancient belief. And I believe it because it's ancient. So I think that's good. If we crave things, what vitamins we might be deficient in. High fiber foods, low glycemic foods. The leptin formula is just a way to eat so you're not activating your insulin and your like hunger hormone. And then high vibe foods. So I went to a free session with Mona Smith, Journey of Purpose life coach, and she did a free session for me, and I understood 3 things about me. That was cool. And one of them is I just came to me, I'm like, oh my goodness, if I eat salad and vegetables and fruit, I'm actually contributing to the health consciousness of the whole world. I just got this big, global feeling about what I eat. And then I thought, well, I wonder if anyone's ever made a list of high vibe foods. And this person did. And so I provide that list to my clients. She has a book about vibe. She talks about a lot of vibe. I just am focusing on foods. So if you get the book, be willing to learn a lot about vibe. All right, and then this is the next thing. So at the end of that, they actually have their food list worksheet, and here it is. So they take all those food lists and they say, what beans do I normally eat? Do I like fish or meat? And which ones would I eat? Which nuts and oils and etc. All of these things. Which ones are ones that are the best for me? So this is starting for them to help write their healthy plan. And then it's blank on the other side, so you can still write a bunch of stuff, whatever your food list worksheet is. Then we go on to the success group guidelines. I just go over this appendix in this meeting, this free meeting. And the cool thing is when they finish my program, I have another free call where I assess those 21 questions again and find out how much they improved. From before they started working with me to the 8 weeks later. So even one of my clients who has that food addiction issue hasn't been able to lose weight, but she improved by 18 points. That's how much she had cleaned up her eating. I improved by 19 points. Another client improved by 19 points. One of my clients improved by 4 points because he's just becoming aware of his eating, but not able to make changes yet. So, we're working with it. And then they write their healthy plan, and these are some of the other stuff that I have in there. Success tips. I use my light, love, power, and wisdom meditation from the Soul Power experience. I have a Christian, well, it's kind of a Christian prayer because a lot of my Christian friends probably think I've jumped off some cliff or whatever. So in order to kind of keep them in the fold, I have this prayer that I include from Soul Power into this because it's kind of nice to pray. We have success group guidelines, and then I have daily tapping. Now, Margot, I'm not certified in tapping, and I tell all my clients I'm not certified, but I do have this tapping script that we use, and because how relaxing it is. So, a little disclaimer there. And then I have what's called I Think My Body meditation. So let's see what the next slide is. All right, this is my I Think My Body meditation. So in the success group, when we meet, I do this every morning or most mornings, and I do it for the success group. We just sit there and go, thank you, body. Thank you, hair, nails, and skin. Thank you, lymphatic system and pituitary gland. We go through and name all these things and just thank our body for the organs that are just providing so much health for us. So that's a meditation that I like to do. Then, since I am not a nutritionist, the plan of One and Done Weight Release is based on these 2 books. So when I was able to delay eating in the morning till 11 o'clock, I lost, like 10 pounds. And then I delayed eating until 2 and I lost another 5. I delayed eating till 4 and I lost the last 5. And so the Delay Don't Deny book that's on Audible is just a whole, she just assesses every single intermittent fasting program in the world. And so it's super interesting. And I gleaned a few bits of truth from that. But AC, the power of appetite correction, is the thing I didn't know. So basically, if you eat, well, I don't know who could do this. I can't do it, but there are people on the planet that actually don't eat anything till 4 o'clock. Now, I can't do that, so I've adapted it differently, and I'll tell you how in just a minute. You actually change your appestat. Your appestat is some system in your body, maybe hormonal, that tells you when you're hungry. And you can change it by eating a certain way. And I thought, no way, that's amazing. So it took a few weeks, and now I'm very, very, not very hungry all day long. And when you eat on a schedule, you're actually burning fat. So if you are 10 pounds overweight, you have enough fat on your body to not eat food for 2 weeks. So what I ask my clients if they would just not eat for 3 hours, and I'll tell you how that happens in the next sheet. So write down that book, the AC, The Power of Appetite Correction. Okay, here it is. Here's my healthy plan. I'm just going to tell you what I do, and you can just figure it out for yourself. So when I wake up in the morning, I have a few bites of food and a lot of liquids. I have my healthy tea, my cup of healthy coffee, organic with this mushroom stuff in it, and just a few bites of food. So what you do during the day is you eat enough food that your body knows you've eaten something, just several bites, like 3, 6, or 9, because I love the number 3. I'm not going to tell you what I eat because that irritated someone. But anyway, it's mostly nuts and just low carb. Anyway, so I eat at 7 with my coffee. Perfect. Then I wait 3 hours and I eat at 10, 3 hours later. Now, if you wake up at 8, then you would eat at 11. See what I'm saying? If you wake up at 6, you could eat at 9. You have to wait 3 hours during the day. And then, like by 9:30, I'm pretty hungry. I'm getting hungry. And you go, oh, I understand, body. You're getting hungry. Well, you're going to eat at 10 o'clock. So why don't we go exercise? Why don't we go, fold laundry, clean the bathroom? I don't know. Do something with your body to delay eating. So you're delaying. You're not denying yourself. Then at 10 o'clock, you eat something more. And this is when I might eat a half apple and some nuts. Then at 1 o'clock is my next time that I eat. Well, I eat something a little bit more substantial. It's 2 cups of vegetables, either salad or roasted vegetables, because by 1 o'clock I'm kind of hungry, but it's still just super healthy. Then the next time to eat would be 4 o'clock. So in appetite correction, you eat small meals at 4, 5, and 6. So you eat kind of a pre-dinner, a late afternoon at 4. Pre-dinner would be at 5. So I might have a shake with greens at 4, and pre-dinner, whatever I have. And then dinner with my family at 6. Well, I'm not that hungry because I've just eaten every hour, 4, 5, 6. So that's an eating window. So that's how, but anyway. And then after dinner, I have a fiber drink, that Metamucil one, the one with the orange flavor. It's really good. And so I just do that. That's my healthy plan. And I just wanted to explain it to you. You can write down those times for yourself. You just eat a slight bit of food throughout the day and then a small amount again at 4, 5, and 6. It's amazing. It's just amazing how easy it is. Then we move into behaviors, and for our clients, because this is where their behaviors really start bothering them, because they're kind of a little bit hard to change, which is what hypnosis is all about. So we talk about this whole concept. So we have a thought or feeling, and it's locked into place, and we act on it. And that's actually a reaction from the past. So what we want to do is we have a thought or feeling, we unlock that lock, we make a choice, we take a better action. And so we go through that strategy in hypnosis. And then this is another cool thing that I discovered, which is, excuse me, I'm going to cough. Did you know that the first 8 hours of the day are really important for mindset and getting stuff done? That's so cool. So you can make a list of all the things that you want to do during the day. They're energizing activities. Then the next 5 hours of the day, you do moderate activities like walking, laundry, dusting, cleaning, cleaning your car or cooking a healthy meal. You just do kind of calm, moderate activities. And then right before bed, the last 3 hours a day, you do relaxed activities like, sorting email, paying bills, and you're moving yourself towards sleep. And this has been revolutionary to me because I used to work into the evening and past 9 o'clock because I thought I was always supposed to work. And my husband was very happy to know that by 9 I'm like so done. 8 o'clock I'm just done working, and that has really brought balance to my life. So again, I like people, when you're waiting to eat, you check your energized activity list and you get stuff done while you're waiting. All right, then we move to self-empowerment, and I show them a brainwaves diagram that DL sent to me. They have a eliminate or enhance things they want to eliminate from their life, the things they want to enhance. I've got 9 self-empowerment tools, which I've shared with this group before, and a eliminate self-hypnosis audio, an enhance self-hypnosis audio, and a self-care inspiration audio for a 21-minute workout. So the eliminate enhance audios, you have to close your eyes and you're in hypnosis. But the self-care inspiration, you can actually use it for your workout every day, because it talks about meditation, movement, and making healthy food, and some other things. I'd be happy to share those with you, with this group tonight, or anyone watching this. I'll share it to you for free. You just have to email me and ask for it. Okay. Then we talk about forgiveness and projection. So when I was thinking, oh Lord, how do I end this thing? I have one session on forgiveness and one section on projection in my Soul Power Experience program, but I still think they're really important concepts. So I took just the minimal strategies for these 2 things and put it in One and Done. One of my clients still was getting over his childhood by the 6th session of One and Done, and we were able to put his childhood so far behind him that it's no longer an issue emotionally for him. So that's why forgiveness is super important. And then realizing when we don't get along with people, it's kind of most often something within ourselves. So we learn to love what we love about ourselves, and we learn to love what we hide, because there's a gift in both. So I help them figure that out. And then the other thing is just to see food for what it is. Can you believe how much sugar is in spaghetti sauce? I mean, people have to see what the food industry is doing to us. Or yogurt. Look at that. That's just awful. And but of course we'd rather eat fruits and vegetables, eat meat as a condiment, very little amounts, just kind of for flavor or whatever, and then be careful with grains and stuff. But anyway, so seafood for what it is really important. We've got to get out of this standard American diet trance that we're in. And then they get a little certificate. And so you can add your email to the chat, actually, for the writing calendar and mantras. And I just offered today for the first time the audios. I do offer a free 20-minute emotion code session. And then all the learning videos for both of my hypnosis programs that I've written so far are free on YouTube. So this is in the chat as well. So each of my sessions has a learning video where I tell clients stuff that I think is helpful that will help them in their healing journey. So you can access any of that for free. All right. So I think that is the end. So I'm going to stop share, and I'm going to unpin myself. And so let's see, if people have questions you feel comfortable asking, we can keep the recording going, or I can turn off the recording. And you can unmute yourself, or I can try to unmute. Oh yeah, you have to unmute yourself. Yeah. Okay, great. Any questions, comments, anything? Okay, Margot. Oh yeah, you're still muted. Let's see if I can ask to unmute you.
I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, Erin, hello.
That's just, you're so thoughtful. What an extraordinary program. It's so detail oriented and so just so covering all the bases. Really, really well done, Dani. Very
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you so much. I love thinking about this stuff. Appreciate it, Erin.
Annie, do you visualize your the program as closed-ended, or so let's say somebody goes through the sessions and then what if they want ongoing work after that?
Yes, like my one client who was able to put his childhood really far away from him, but in his final session where I asked him those assessment questions, he said his work is really bothering him. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to do a free session and help you with your work right now. And because it kind of came up during the 8 weeks, and so I do stuff like that. But if work continues to be an issue, then he would just hire me privately beyond the program to work on those issues. Um, but the success group is a half an hour once a week. It's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Like 1 month it's all on Mondays, the next month it's on Tuesday, Wednesday. And that's just a half an hour where we do scripted hypnosis and tapping and I think my body. And they get to give us they get to report a thumbs up. They're doing great. It's working for them. Thumbs medium, not so much, or I bombed this week. And so it's just a little bit of an accountability because I have a business accountability group and they're in the back of my mind like I better get my work done because I want to have a good report for that group. And so it's just having some accountability to a group is another way of unlocking that thought loop.
Is there enough charge for that, or what's the deal?
Yeah, it's really, I'm not charging for it yet because this is my first full month that I've been running it. It's $12.95 a month.
Yeah.
So it's a low fee, but I did want, I think when people pay for stuff, they're a little bit more likely to stick with it. And so that's the fee. And they can cancel anytime, but I haven't actually started charging you that since I'm still kind of in beta.
What do you run that off of? What software or what program are you using for the thumbs up, thumbs down, and the half hour?
The Zoom. It's just a
brilliant accountability format.
Yeah, and we don't report on weight or anything. We just report on, has it been doable and improving for you? Thumbs up. That's the only check-in. And then I also have health in the news, and so I bring like an article. So right after the meeting, I send them an article link that I think was helpful. The other thing that I did is I started the movement meditation, my health, making healthy food challenge to see how many times in a week you were able to do that because the goal would be 7, right? And so we're having this little informal challenge because you want to win. So that's part of that too. Good question. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, did you mention what program you're using for
just
the
Zoom? It's just Zoom. It's just a Zoom meeting.
Oh, and Zoom has the ability to do, or you're just talking about an actual visual?
Yeah, we do a check-in at the beginning. So I'm like, I always go first because it gives people time to think. And I go, hey, I'm doing great this week. We just do a literal thumbs up.
No, I want a little button I can push. I don't want to actually have to out myself that I'm doing horrible. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, your hypnosis that they listen to, how long is that? And are they meant to listen to it daily?
Right. I get so bored with daily listening to anything. It just has to be new. But what's new about that is that I talk them into really being deeply hypnotized in that audio. And then there's a little formula. Like I, eliminate blank and then I don't talk. I forget to remember and you do a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? So the two that are the eliminate enhance are under 10 minutes. They're like 7 minutes because I value people's time and I think it's really boring to sit there forever. But the workout one is 21 minutes because if people could work out for 21 minutes to it, it's really beneficial and they're learning. There's just, I talk to them about Mother Nature cares for you, and stuff that's just so great to know. I think it's great. It's taken me at least 3 weeks to write it. So, yeah. Good question.
I love how you avoid all those food conflicts, because people have so many theories of food, what to eat, so much. So, and you give them choices.
Yes.
They are in control. So they can look at all foods and say, oh, I like this, and then they have to stick to it because it's their choice. I love it.
They're more likely to. Exactly
Yes.
right. Yep. Yeah, I tell the story that I was in Weight Watchers for a while, and it takes so much time. Oh my goodness. So I bought one of their cookbooks, and I opened it up, and it had an ingredient I'd never even heard of before, and I literally shut it and put it back on the shelf. I'm like, I don't even know what food that is. And it was just enough to stop me from continuing the program, plus all that counting. And actually, whenever you wait to eat, you're actually burning the carbs out of your blood, which is good, so they're not overflowing with carbs, and you're automatically burning fat. So when you wait the 3 hours to eat, you're burning fat. Isn't that amazing? And then when you finish eating at 7, if you don't eat till 7 in the morning because you've just eaten 3 times, so you're not hungry anyway, you're burning fat all night, to eliminate that nighttime eating. It's just miraculous how good it works. So, yeah.
I think it's incredibly thought out, using different ideas, because I read the blood type. I'm an O-pause,
Yeah.
I'm a hunter-gatherer, and I need my meat, that's why I could never be a vegetarian. I don't want to be a vegetarian. I might live longer if I were, but for my blood type, I crave meat. Yeah.
Yes, right. We have O positive is acidic blood, so it digests meat better. But still keeping it to, there's some videos on Netflix that I haven't quite suggested to my group yet because I don't want to scare them away. But they're really clear about our health and what would be better for us. So, yes, I use meat as a condiment, like this much.
Well, I'll have a feel. If I'm going to eat meat, I want something really good. So I want lobster, or I want filet mignon.
Wow, good.
And I'll splurge on a good meat and have a smaller portion.
I have met my people.
Me too.
Yep.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your good questions. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording so that recording's not so long.